Guys, quarterfinals Beyond Gaming Cup number 3. This is the third quarterfinals match. We do have in attendance Renegades and Sweethearts. Renegade is going to be the warm team. Sweetheart will be the cold team of followers of the tournaments. We'll see Sweethearts here for their third showing. Renegade seems to be new, but the Shrine of Aronshan is going to be the map as we get going here for the big semi-final choosers. So yeah, the semi-finals, we already got 2 people there ready to go, and then whoever wins these finals, guys, they're going to go off to the grand finals June 4th as the top 8 teams from the 4 qualifying cups, as well as the top 4 on the ladders. Yes, Beyond Gaming is hosting a ladder, are going to go head to head for $5,000 prize pool, and that is all they're donated by Justin TV, QPad, and Thermal Take, as well as some blood coins and titles coming out of Stunlock Studios. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. It is obviously a pleasure. And yeah, I'm the FourCourtJester. With me here is Semmler the Riot as we're going to get this game rolling.
Oh yeah, and Nevep Sigma Pact. I'm really interested to see how they pull this off. Nevep with a great choice. Obsessed is going to have a lot of trouble getting in on this, as NG can be a counter, considered a counter for Ravener. So we have to see how Obsessed decides to work this as. What is this? They're running a triple DPS comp. I haven't seen a triple DPS since Mushin.
That's true. Wow, I don't think we've seen a triple DPS in the Beyond Gaming to date as well. So we're gonna have to see how they go. They did have a bye, guys, in the round of 16. They had a bye to get here to face off against Sweethearts. So I'm unsure about how this is all gonna work. They're gonna have to show us what they got.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting to see, because they do have plenty of control. They have a lot of burst damage, really. So if they can get onto Kippacat, it's going to be pretty brutal for Kip to deal with it, because Frenke, of course, playing the Thorn, going to be able to control him. And Obsessed in Mark 1, going to be able to get a lot of damage out there, but not having that healer could pose a lot of problems for them, as already they're getting zoned out a little bit. Nevep getting those M1s onto Frenke. And Frenke already at 50% HP. This is not looking good for him. Needed to get that Thorn Wall out a little bit sooner, as the EMP follows it up. Frenke just sitting pretty at 10%. Nevep not going to let the pressure up. Comes up with that roasted fire. With that flamethrower, going to be a lot of damage going out there, and this Frenke just drops right off the start. Nevep planning too much damage to be dealt with. Going to go ahead, get in there with the flamethrower again. Nevep, he doesn't like his meat rare. He likes it well done, obviously, because this guy is just roasting everybody on the map. Marked 1, going to go ahead, roast himself for a change. And yeah, this is going to be pretty one-sided, as Sigma, kind of just M1 in the air, enjoying himself, doing his thing, and Nevep going in once again. So 1-0 in favor, just resounding victory. It's completely one-sided.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at here the CPS and the damage output. I mean, for a triple DPS team, the survivability is going to be key, so avoiding the damage while doing as much as you can, because you do have to compensate for Kippacat there on that Alchemist. But you said Smurf team. I'm thinking maybe they just decided to sign up and see how far they'll get. Now, Frank Guy and Mark 1, they're actually doing some decent damage right here onto Sigma, and Obsessed looks to be doing a little bit better as well, though she is still landing inside a lot of these CCs. A Mist Volcano right there. Frankie is trying to go up against Sigma. I don't actually think he's landing too much against Sigma, but Obsessed, I mean, he should really be leaving that Q for running into Nevep, because it will reflect those range damage. Last turn we did see it reflect some of the ultimate of that machine gun, but still, Sigma Pact or going on Kippacat as a Ravener, probably not the best matchups in this case, because Nevep, as it is that range, you can save that Q. You got those incapacitates going, you have a lot of movement with your space, as well as your dash, your E, your Crush Strike, or Crush Rush, or whatever it's called.
Bone Crush Rush.
Bone Crush Rush, yeah. I love that name, it's great.
That is the best name.
So maybe you're going to have to switch it up a little bit, but it does look like, Sweethearts aren't going to give any mercy here.
No, and why would they? They're in the quarterfinals. They're not going to, give or take anything. They're going to just take what they want and get into that next bracket, as Frankie already taking some pressure there. Nice puncturing strike, getting all 3 of them by Sigma Pack. And right now, Obsessed is definitely losing the war here, as he is at 20% HP. We have a triple barrel coming out from Mark 1, going to get a little bit of damage out there, but Frankie is still sitting so low. Nevep with the machine gun. Can he get a kill? Yes, he does. Sigma Pack wrapping it up, and both Worm Team members just completely get, destroyed, for lack of a better word, as Mark 1 forced into the corner. We had an instant injection come out from Kippacat, just out of range, though, not going to work, as Mark 1 looks like he's just going to try and play keep away right now, going for his Ranid impersonation, and not going to work out for him, as Nevep once again flaming for the win.
Yeah, the Chase the Renegade is a popular game to play here in Bloodline Champions. Pandrim is very good at that game, although he typically turns it around. The hunted becomes the hunter, so to speak. But yeah, a quick 3-0 there for Sweethearts up against Renegades. And Renegades, I mean, guys, if you do look here at the grades as well as the amount of games played, I mean, 190 victories, 243, and 266 for the team members here of Renegade. Like, that's not going to really compare to, what, the 1,400 on Kitpicat, 2,500 on Nevet. Sigma Pax is also sitting at over the 2,000 mark. So this will be a good experience for Renegades. Although the pressure is really 99% to 1 on their chances of winning. But this is going to be a very good experience for them. This is how a team rolls. This is how they start working together. This is how they merge everything. Like, I saw Obsessed throw out a Mem2 on top of Kitpicat, and then the Thorn just jumps right over here, breaks the Incapacitate. So, I mean, big communications are required in these games, guys, and this will be a quick look at a beginning team up against one of the more veteran teams here in Bloodline Champions.
To be honest, yeah, there's no better way to learn. I mean, granted there are, but tournament play, getting in that pressure situation where every move you make, every choice, every decision matters hugely. Any mistake will be punished. And so it really forces you to get into this mindset where you guys have to troubleshoot on the fly. You got to figure out what's not working, what is, and cut, the fat off of your strategy. As right now, Marked One, Franke, and Obsessed, they're playing a bit too defensive. They're not grabbing the momentum right from the start. They are not, taking the reins of the situation, and that's really what needs to happen if you're running a trip DPS team. You need to get out there, and you need to get that advantage early on. You need to get somebody to 50%. You need to force them on the back foot and just keep the momentum rolling in your favor after that. And we're not seeing that. We're seeing them play a bit back. We're seeing them, kind of going for a zoning game, which is really all Cold Team wants. Cold Team, they want that kind of zone game because, of course, they have a healer, so they will come out on top. They can afford to take a little bit of damage. Whereas Worm Team, it's just not going to work in their favor. They need to get in there and they need to get some damage quickly, or it's just not going to work at all.
Very true. Yeah, any team without a healer, like you need to even out those playing fields or get some kind of natural advantage as soon as you can, because the longer the game drags on, the less of an advantage you are going to keep. So right now, Frank and Marked One are going to be taking these guys on, as we did see Sweethearts go the roundabout route, not going up through the middle. Obsessed over there with Kitpicat, but he's getting a pretty hard hit there with the clarities. But look at Frank right now, as Marked One is incapacitated off in the corner, and now Engineer does have a huge incapacitate that is the longest in the game. Great for one-on-one scenarios. Just took out Marked One out of the fight. They killed off Frank, and now Obsessed is going 2-on-1. Obsessed is using her Q again, and she also used it a little bit there to reflect Nevet's ultimate, which is the only reason he has damage. But, we did see the big ultimate go down. There's the tractor beam. So using some of these EXs, which I don't think I've seen any of the EXs come out of the Worm team. But then again, maybe their energy generation just really isn't up there. 51, 60, 56. These guys can't even get their ults, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a zoning situation, really. They're not... Franke is getting focused down far too quickly. He's kind of like the prime choice, seeing as how they have EMP to get Cabbage Patch off. They've got triple dispels on this team, so any kind of CC that he tries to put out, it's going to get cleansed off right away. And, that's not optimal at all. Franke really having a lot of trouble. And, of course, because of that, he is going to be just sitting pretty right in the middle, and they're going to take advantage of it. As Cabbage Patch is already down, Franke going to get M1 to the face. That shotgun is coming out, 20 damage a pop, too much damage to be dealt with as Obsessed. Already at 40% HP, this is not where they need to be at all. Obsessed, oh no, you have to spin in the wind. Sigma Pact is there, Kitpicat to follow it up, and that is going to be it. We had Nevet with the ultimate, Marked One, all alone. Franke taking the brunt of that damage. And once again, just complete one-sided battles, just slaughter right now. We got Nerd Blood all over the place, painted red, these guys, and just, moving on into the next round. But you cannot take it away from Renegades. They had Mad Chutzpah signing up for a tournament. And just seeing how far they could get, this is great experience for them. And we're going to have to see, what they can do if they can make a comeback in this final round of this map.
Well, it would be very nice if they could, show us what kind of strategies they did want to employ here. I mean, they did not change it up. They didn't change any of their heroes. And obviously these guys, they got together, they've got a team, and they decided that this is the comp they wanted to run. So I'm very curious as to what the strengths are like that they were going to bring to the table here. But at this point, they're just getting trod all over by Sweetheart. So I don't think we're actually seeing the big strength of this team. But Nevep, I mean, as soon as he saw that Q go down, just landed every single machine gun bullet into Obsessed's face right there. Now, marked one seems to be the common theme. He's the only one that goes down, or so the last one to go down. But yeah, let's just leave it at one-sided, and Sweethearts is going to move on here to the semifinals.